make sense. First one being telling people renting is throwing away money, as if they're supposed to be homeless, as if they're supposed to be out on the street, as if they're supposed to be out on the street, right? Renting is not throwing away money. You literally have to pay to live somewhere. Right? And you know I'm a data girl. So according to Realtor.com, America is short 7.2 million homes. So even if people could afford, a down payment and the mortgage and all that stuff, well, there's no homes for these people to live in, right? And let's keep in mind, interest rates are 7-8% when 2 to 3 years ago they were 3%. So it's costing nearly double to actually own a property. When we think about rent, you are paying the maximum capacity of what you can pay. Let me say that again. When you're paying rent, you're paying the maximum capacity of what you can pay. And when you have a mortgage, you're paying the minimum capacity of what you can pay. So what are you talking about? Baby, the mortgage is just the start, all right? You have the mortgage, you have taxes, you have insurance. If something breaks, it is on you. If something needs to be fixed, it is on you. But as a renter, those things you don't have to worry about. And I know people are gonna be like, oh my gosh, yes, but Selma, rent goes up. So does property taxes. So does insurance. So it's not throwing away money because people decide to rent. And sometimes, realistically, they're millionaires who actually rent. So renters don't have to worry about all those things. Now let's talk about it because again, I'm a data girl, so I'm gonna make sure I cover everything. Many private and public corporations own a lot of single homes. Like, let's talk about the numbers, all right? Progress Residential owns 80,000 homes, 80,000 single family homes. I'm not talking about like buildings. They own 80,000 single homes. Invitation Homes owns 80,000 single homes. AMH, America Homes, for rent, 60,000 homes. The Amherst Group, 75,000 homes. First Key Homes, 50,000 homes. So these top 5 companies own 345,000 single homes. These are not regular people. Number 2 on shit that doesn't make sense. Thinking you don't need a savings outside of an emergency fund. I know I talk a lot about having an emergency fund, but we should have a savings for other things outside of that. Whether it's a sinking fund for vacation, Christmas, or for your children, nieces and nephews, or long-term savings for a down payment on a property, a new car, retirement. We shouldn't be only having a savings for just in case of emergencies. And truly, I feel like after you have 6 months worth of expenses, you should probably stop adding to that and start putting that money somewhere else where it can make you more money. But it's just not an emergency fund. There should be an emergency fund, there should be short-term and long-term savings, and there should also be sinking funds set aside for things that you actually want to do outside of emergencies. Number 3 on shit that doesn't make sense. Wanting to stop living paycheck to paycheck, but doing nothing to change it. I'm coming for you, right? We all say we don't want to live paycheck to paycheck, but are we actually doing the necessary steps to stop living paycheck to paycheck, right? You say you don't want to live paycheck to paycheck, but you're going out every weekend and you're spending your last money. You say you don't want to live paycheck to paycheck, but you're not using your skills and resources to make more money. You say you don't want to live paycheck to paycheck, but you have no money saved. All this sounds like shit that sounds like you want to live paycheck to paycheck. So how do we stop the cycle of living paycheck to paycheck? We go outside and we make some more money. We use our skills to make us more money. We create products, we create businesses, we do side hustles. We make sure we have multiple streams of income, and we also make sure that we're not inflating our lifestyle to the point where now we need the side hustle, we need the business. You want to make sure that extra income that you're actually bringing in is going towards your financial goals. Not, I'm making an extra $1,000 a month, let me get a new car. No, sis. You're making an extra $1,000 a month to pay off debt. You're making an extra $1,000 a month to get yourself closer to retirement. You're making an extra $1,000 a month to invest, to buy property, to do all of the other things outside of inflating your lifestyle. So, you don't want to live paycheck to paycheck? We have to change our mindset. We have to change what we're doing so that we don't live paycheck to paycheck. All right, shit that doesn't make sense. I don't know if y'all gonna like this one, but buying luxury cars you can't afford. This is just my opinion. But I truly believe people buy luxury cars for what the symbol status does for other people and how it looks on them, right? So you don't buy the luxury car because you actually like it. You buy the luxury car because, you know, when people see you in it, they're like, oh my gosh, she got money. Oh my gosh, she's driving a Benz. Oh my gosh, what's she doing to get that money? You don't even like the car too small. It costs too much in gas, right? So buying luxury things you cannot afford is like shit that we automatically should stop doing. When you budget for a luxury car, many of us are just budgeting for the car payment, right? We're not budgeting in maintenance, the upkeep. We're not budgeting gas. We're not budgeting insurance. We're just like, oh yeah, I can afford this payment. But can you afford the gas? All right, them luxury cars take what, 93? They take premium. Okay, on a fill up easily, that could cost you $50 to fill up your car. You traveling, you fill it up every week, that's $200 minimum just on gas. We're not even talking about insurance. We're not even talking about oil changes. We're not talking about any of those things. So thinking you can afford a luxury car without actually putting into place all of the other things that goes into that is damn sure nearly irresponsible, right? Because I mean, like I said, interest rates are crazy. So if you know your car is $500, $200 going on gas, that's $700 right there, right? Insurance, maybe $250, that's $900 right there. You're almost at $1,000 for a car because it makes you look some type of way. No. And again, I'm a data girl, right? So according to NerdWallet, the average car loan payment in the US is $738 for a new car. This might not even be luxury. This is a new car, right? And $532 for a used car. And I want to say these people are getting creative and now extending car loans to 7 and 8 years. You should not want a car loan for 8 years. Come closer. You should not want a car loan for 8 years. I don't care what they're giving you. You should not want a car loan for 8 years. That's way too long. But I digress, right? Buying luxury items you can't afford, shit, that doesn't make sense. Next thing that doesn't make sense is thinking you deserve something every step of the way every day, right? So we get into this, oh, I deserve this. I deserve this. And don't fight me. But when people say that coffee isn't keeping you broke, I disagree. Don't kill me, but I disagree. I believe it does create a trickle effect we don't usually recognize, right? Sometimes it's not just the coffee. Sometimes it's the coffee and the sandwich you buy on the daily, right? It's the lunch that you buy with your coworkers. It's the Uber Eats you're doing 3 times a week. So now it may not seem like it's just coffee, but it's all of the other things that you're doing that makes it feel like I deserve this or, whatever it is. But every day is kind of crazy, right? More than anything, it's the ability to say no that's keeping you broke, sis. It's the ability to say no that's keeping you broke. One of the hardest things to do is say no to a coworker when they ask you, do you want to order food? Because now you wrapping up that food that you brought from home and you talking about you're going to eat that later. It's your ability to say no that's keeping you broke. When you have mastered telling your coworkers no, oh, you've mastered it all. A lot of us need to learn delayed gratification. We cannot treat ourselves to the point where we are not hitting our financial goals. That's irresponsible. You cannot treat yourself every step of the way to the point where you look up and you still haven't hit your goals and you have nothing to show for it, right? Just because I went to work doesn't mean I eat out. Just because I didn't curse anyone out doesn't mean I deserve a coffee. Just because I got a raise doesn't mean I need a new car or a new bag. It just doesn't, right? So thinking you deserve something every step of the way and not learning how to delay your gratification and not learning how to say no is one sure way to remain broke.